Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. In this lecture number 15 of root locus, we are going to solve problem number 1 which came in GATE 2005. So before starting the video, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. Question is, a unity feedback system with forward part transfer function Gs is equal to k into 1 minus s divided by s into s plus 3. Draw the root locus. So in this GATE question of 2005, we have to recognize the correct root locus plot from the options given. So now let us draw the root locus for this system given. Here already given in the question that it is a unity feedback system. Therefore, feedback part transfer function Hs will be equal to 1. So since Hs is equal to 1, we have open loop transfer function G of s into H of s is equal to 1 into k into 1 minus s whole divided by s into s plus 3. Now from this transfer function equation we will find out the open loop zeros. We have only one open loop zero at s is equal to 1, and from the denominator of this equation we have open loop poles at s is equal to 0 and at s is equal to minus 3. Now we will draw the pole 0 plot. To draw the pole 0 plot, we have to represent all these poles and zeros on this S plane. First we will represent the open loop poles. At S is equal to 0 we have one pole. At S is equal to minus 3 we have another pole. And 0 is at S is equal to 1. Now we have to check for the section of real axis in which root locus exists. If we place a point in between these two poles of s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 3, by applying rule number 3, we can see that only one pole is there to the right hand of this point. Therefore, this section between s is equal to minus 3 and s is equal to 0 will lie on the root locus. And while considering the rule number 3, we don't have to see the poles and zeros which are situated in the right half of the S plane. We only have to check the poles and zeros in the left half of the S plane to the right side of this point. Next step is to find the angle of asymptote. So here in this equation we can see that we have only one zero at s is equal to 1, and we have two poles at s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 3. As we are given only one zero, from these two poles one pole will end at 0 of s is equal to 1 and another pole will end at s is equal to infinity. That means only one pole will approach to infinity. Therefore, we have only one angle of asymptote. The formula for angle of asymptote theta is 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z. So, when we put p and z values, we will get 2q plus 1 into 180 degree divided by 2 minus 1. We have to find out the range of q here. Q will take the values 0, 1, 2 up to p minus z minus 1. So when we put the value of p and z here, we will get 0. That means q can have only one value of 0. So at q is equal to 0, we have theta 1 is equal to 2 into 0 plus 1 is equal to 180 degree. So there will be only one angle of asymptote here. Next, we have to find out the centroid sigma, which is the intersection point of the asymptote on the real axis. So this is having one formula, sigma is equal to summation of real part of poles minus summation of real part of zeros divided by p minus z. So from this equation, the first pole is at 0, then minus 3, then minus of this s is equal to 1 is a 0. Therefore, we put here s is equal to 1 divided by p minus z is 2 minus 1. So, from here we will get sigma is equal to minus 4. Now we will find out the breakaway point and break-in point. For this we have to write the characteristic equation which is given by 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. Now we put the equation of g of s into h of s here, we will get 1 plus k into 1 minus s divided by s into s plus 3 is equal to 0. So when we solve this, we will get characteristic equation s square plus 3 minus k into s plus k is equal to 0. So to find out the breakaway point, we have to find out the equation of k from this characteristic equation. K will be equal to s square plus 3s divided by s minus 1. Now we have to differentiate this equation with respect to s, that is we have to find out dk by ds. If we differentiate this equation with respect to s, we will get this type of equation s square minus 2s minus 3 divided by s minus 1 whole square. Now we have to equate this equation to 0. Therefore, we will get s square minus 2s minus 3 is equal to 0. Now we find out the roots of this equation to find the breakaway point. So when we solve this, we will get two roots, s is equal to 3 and s is equal to minus 1. We have to check the validity of these points by keeping these points in the equation of k. So when we put these values of s is equal to 3 and s is equal to minus 1 in this equation, then at s is equal to 3, we get k is equal to plus 9, and at s is equal to minus 1, we will get k is equal to plus 1. So here we are getting both the k values positive, that means both these points of s is equal to 3 and s is equal to minus 1 are valid breakaway points. Now we will find out the point of intersection of the root locus with the imaginary axis. For this we have to take the characteristic equation, which is s square plus 3 minus k into s plus k is equal to 0. Now we will construct the Routh array. We have constructed the Routh array. In this Routh array, we have to make any one row of this Routh array to be row of zeros. So we'll make this s to the power 1 row as row of zeros. For this we have to make this 3 minus k is equal to 0. Then only we can find out the marginal value of k. So to find out the marginal value of k, we have to make this row as row of zeros. For this we equate this 3 minus k is equal to 0. So we'll find k is equal to 3, which is the marginal value of k. Now we have to take a row above this row of zeros, that is we have to take this s to the power 2 row and form the auxiliary equation. So our auxiliary equation a of s will be equal to s square plus k is equal to 0. So in this equation we have to put the marginal value of k. When we put the marginal value of k, we will get s square plus 3 is equal to 0. From here we will get s square is equal to minus 3 and s will be equal to plus minus j root 3. Therefore the intersection point with the imaginary axis s will be equal to plus minus j 1.73. So this will be the intersection point of the root locus with the imaginary axis. Now we have to draw the final root locus using all this data. Now we will draw the root locus of this transfer function given g of s into h of s is equal to k into 1 minus s divided by s into s plus 3. For this, in the graph paper we have represented the real axis as sigma and imaginary axis as j omega axis. Now we will represent all the data which we have found out just now. Next we will represent these poles and zeros on this s plane. 1 0 is at s is equal to 1 and one pole is at s is equal to 0 and another pole is at s is equal to minus 3. Centroid is at s is equal to minus 4. So this will be our centroid at s is equal to minus 4, which is represented by sigma. Then we have breakaway point at s is equal to minus 1 and one more breakaway point is at s is equal to plus 3. This s is equal to minus 1 is a breakaway point, but this s is equal to plus 3 is breaking point because it is existing between s is equal to 1 0 and infinity. But this s is equal to minus 1 point is existing between two poles of s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 3. Therefore this is a breakaway point. Now we represent the point of intersection of the root locus with the j omega axis, which is equal to plus minus j 1.732. So somewhere here we have plus j 1.732, and somewhere here we have minus j 1.732. We had already checked by rule number 3 that the section between s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 3 will lie on the root locus. That means the branches of root locus from these two poles will approach towards this breakaway point and divide into two different branches. Okay, like this, the branches of the root locus will come from this s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 3 poles and approach towards this breakaway point and divide into two different branches. Cut this imaginary axis at plus j 1.732 and minus j 1.732, and after cutting this, the root locus branches will pass through this break-in point. So the root locus will look like this, which is a circle. As this transfer function equation g of s into h of s has 1 0 at s is equal to 1 and two poles at s is equal to 0 and at s is equal to minus 3, the branches which are coming from this breakaway point of s is equal to minus 1 will approach towards this break-in point and divide into two branches. So one branch of the root locus will approach towards this s is equal to 1 0. That means one branch of the root locus will terminate at the 0 of s is equal to 1, and another branch of the root locus which is approaching at this break-in point will end at s is equal to infinity. So our final root locus will look like this. So hope you have understood the topic. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.